Hello, I'm Keith Gentoft. We're the group that monitors the burglar alarms of residential and commercial systems across this nation. I want to talk to you about resurrecting loss control with a badge and what that means to the insurers. My job is to bring back together and reforge the partnership that existed between the insurers and the security industry. Since 2008, stock market's gone south. We can't count on investment income, so insurers are back looking at making money the old-fashioned way, reducing claims, reducing losses. And we have technology in the industry that's really changed the way the game is played. Law enforcement are coming to our alarms again. They're making arrests, lots of them.
The National Insurance Crime Bureau is a nonprofit. We are almost 100 years old. We'll be 100 years old next year. And our sole mission is to fight insurance fraud. We do that for two primary constituencies, law enforcement and our member companies. One of our 5 disciplines is training, and we train over 12,000 law enforcement officers a year and another 15,000 to 20,000 insurance industry representatives a year. We are the connection between our members and law enforcement across the United States. It's important that we remain aware of what technology is out there, not only from the standpoint of being up to speed internally, but also so that we can share that knowledge with those law enforcement officers and with our member companies. The NICB, we don't endorse particular technologies, but such as priority response, when it makes sense for law enforcement and makes sense for the industry, it only makes sense that we speak positively about a program that ultimately will result in fewer property crimes. Law enforcement isn't much different in many respects than any company. You have to prioritize your resources based on the amount of assets or resources available to you. So law enforcement's doing that nationwide, and we see that as we go about our business of fighting fraud. As law enforcement prioritizes their resources, property crime, as you might imagine, is not going to be at the top of the list. They have very significant crimes to deal with that relate to crimes against people, crimes against persons. Those types of crimes are going to get the public's attention much more frequently than crimes of property crimes. What they're really looking to do is to find more efficient means of prosecuting and investigating property crimes.
Well, property crime is a significant issue, and traditional alarms certainly have limitations. While the actual response policies vary from jurisdiction to jurisdiction, burglar alarms are typically given low priority by responding officers, when up to 98% of them are not real crimes. Some police departments and municipalities, like Las Vegas, have adopted extreme measures and stopped responding to alarms altogether. As a group, the sheriffs have avoided taking such drastic measures. We continue to respond, but false alarms are certainly an issue for us as well. We're having to do a lot more with less, and that includes personnel. The video intrusion alarms like VideoFied are helping us do our jobs better and doing it more cost effectively and much more efficiently. It's hard to send a deputy screaming across the county at high speed for something that may be a false alarm. Just to be clear, priority response is when our 911 dispatch center prioritizes video alarms to be dispatched by the deputies or responding officers. Video alarms are changing the game. I am aware of police departments that have arrest rates over 50% using video intrusion alarms and a priority response policy.
Although we're not an insurance company, and our insurance companies each do business a different way, and could speak more to exactly what the impact of priority response might be on an insured's rates. Generally speaking, from our perspective, the more that can be done to prevent theft, prevent property crime, ultimately should result in the consumer, the commercial or the business seeing a reduction in their insurance rates, because ultimately it's about loss experience, and if there are fewer losses, the hope is that you would see a lower rate. Getting a response to a potential crime and having that officer respond in a more timely fashion, common sense would tell you you're going to see more arrests and you're going to see fewer crimes.
So we've heard from Sheriff Fitzgerald on best practices and how priority response is becoming a very core part of what law enforcement is doing to become more efficient in these economic times. We've heard from the NICB and how they actually are the key interface between law enforcement and the insurers. We have the tools now with insurers and law enforcement and the security industry to reconstruct and resurrect the insurance, alarm, law enforcement partnership that worked so well in the early 1900s. We together brought loss control with a badge to the policyholders, and that's what we're talking about now. We have the potential in terms of solutions and technology, we have the will on the part of the law enforcement, and we have the need on the part of the insurers to resurrect loss control with a badge.